Hubert Davis, he has been the talk of the town pretty much most of the weekend in March Madness. More than likely the number one storyline of the weekend. North Carolina, since Hubert Davis has taken over the reins from Roy Williams, it's been pretty much a mixed bag. Some good, but in my opinion, this is going to be a totally unbiased take, a whole lot of more bad. Hubert Davis, in his first season, with Roy Williams recruits, he took the Carolina Tar Heels to a national championship. At the time, around everyone in the media landscape, people were looking at Hubert Davis to be the next ultimate successor and head coach at the University of North Carolina. And since then, that ideology, that thinking has not come remotely close to fruition. It has been a rocky last 4 years for Hubert Davis. The year after, he goes to the national championship. Mind you, in that national championship game, he choked a 15-point lead. In that very next season, they were the AP number one team going into the season, and they missed the tournament. The first team to ever do that. The year after that, bounce back year for the most part. Won the ACC, number one seed in the NCAA tournament, and they fall to Alabama in the Sweet 16. Little disappointing. And the last two seasons, when you think that all Hubert Davis could do is ascend, sadly, he continued to descend. No pun intended. In the fourth and fifth season, last year, they had a second round exit. And this year, in the first round of 64, they lose to VCU in overtime. And this has created a lot of uproar around the media. It was reported, if I remember correctly, I can't remember if it was the chancellor of the school, but I know the athletic director was present in the tunnel once Carolina lost and were exiting the arena. And Hubert Davis did not, by any means or imagination, have a wonderful press conference after the loss against VCU. It was embarrassing. It was not a good look whatsoever. And when the athletic director felt that he needed to make a move after that game, did that press conference not influence that idea even more? Should Carolina move on from Hubert Davis? I can't definitively say yes. But I'm going to argue as to why it should be heavily considered. And this is the reason why. And they were talking about this on First Take yesterday morning. And I'm going to double down on it. North Carolina, in comparison to the other schools and Blue Blood schools, I'm not even going to take it that far. I'm not going to compare Carolina to Kentucky, Gonzaga, Kansas, and everyone else. I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to just talk about the school that they are 8 miles from, my team, their rival, the best rivalry in college basketball, in the history of basketball, in my opinion, across the pro and collegiate level, is Duke and Carolina. And when I was thinking about this Hubert Davis situation, the one thought that came into my head that I could not get away from is the idea that Carolina, under Hubert Davis, has been overshadowed by Duke and out-recruited. Jon Scheyer, in the same timeline that Hubert Davis has been there, has had the top recruiting class 4 out of the 5 years he's been there. He's had the Cooper Flaggs. He's had the Filipowskis. He's had the Jared McCains. He's had the Boozer twins. He's had all of these phenomenal players go into Cameron Indoor Stadium and play for Jon Scheyer. That hasn't been the case for Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis was able to take Roy Williams' recruits and take that team to a national championship. But what has he done with his own? This is the first year he finally got a 5-star in Caleb Wilson. It is reported as of right now he's got multiple 5-stars coming next year. But even in the first year under Caleb Wilson, and this is the reason why you really can't put that much blame on losing in the first round, because you didn't have Caleb Wilson for the last couple games of the season because he broke his wrist. But the reason why it's such a tough question is because in this game against VCU, you choked away a 19-point lead. That's inexcusable across any factor, Caleb Wilson or not. It does not matter. You choked a 19-point lead in the NCAA tournament first round of March Madness. That is not going to be a tough pill to swallow for any athletic director. Specifically, a prestigious collegiate franchise / organization, historically great blue blood school such as the University of North Carolina. This school eats, sleeps, and breathes college basketball. It is their lifeline. It is their blood. I know this for a fact because I live in the state. I know how much Carolina basketball, the Tar Heels, mean to this state. Not only to this state, but what they mean to the sport of college basketball as a franchise, as a blue blood. And they currently are not living to the standard under Hubert Davis as the Carolina Tar Heels. When you think about Tar Heels, you think about Dean Smith. Think about Roy Williams. Think about all those national championships, 6 of them. When you think about Hubert Davis currently, all you do is think about losing, not being good enough, not having good recruits, not having a good roster. It is reported by inside scoopers throughout college basketball right now that Hubert Davis didn't even want the job. He was pressured into getting it because Roy Williams handed him the keys to the car. What was he supposed to say? No. It's a tough spot for the University of North Carolina. And over the weekend on Sunday specifically, it was reported that a decision is going to be made in the coming days. But would I be shocked that they move on from Hubert Davis? His contract, they were going to have to eat some money over the next couple of years. I think he's guaranteed for, if they were to let him go, he was signed through 2029 and 2030. So over the next 5 years, they're going to eat $5 million for his base salary if they let him go for the next couple of years. But the athletic director for Carolina's got a tough decision to make. He has 2 5-stars coming his way. And do you bet on that and give Hubert Davis another chance with 2 5-stars? And granted, Caleb Wilson this year was Carolina's first 5-star since 2015, I think, if I remember correctly. So the athletic director for Carolina has a lot of questioning to make. And it's going to be a tough decision because if they move on from Hubert Davis, it is not likely those 2 5-stars stay.